Neil Magny got a gigantic victory. One of his biggest victories, maybe his biggest, I don't even know. He's had some really big ones, but this one was, it's not his biggest, but it's a great victory over D-Rod. And it's one of the greatest moments in Neil's career, getting that third round finish, a beautiful Darce choke, and also winning performance of the night, getting 50 grand, and also becoming the most winning welterweight in history. I almost said the word winningest. I hate that fucking word. But he's got the most victories now. I don't even know which win that was. I think it was 20. But regardless, Neil is, I can't call him a legend, can't call him a star, but he's one of those guys that's been around forever. You know, he's just like Jim Miller. This guy has definitely put the work in. He's gone under the radar pretty much the whole way. And I know he's at a ranking next to his name for a good portion of his time at the UFC, but, or maybe not a good portion, but definitely a sizable portion. But still, Neil is underrated. Maybe not under the radar, but he's underrated, I think, by everybody, myself included. Neil, that's what makes Neil such a cool fighter, is that he's not flashy. He's not going to draw a lot of fans. It's almost impossible for him to be overhyped in any sort of way. And it's almost a guarantee that he's going to be underestimated throughout his whole career, and he has been. And this wasn't an example of that. I think Neil was even a slight favorite, but still, Neil Magny, he was where he exceeded expectations and estimations was by coming back after losing round 2 there and getting a finish. He came back like a bat out of hell. There is no video yet, or maybe there is, I don't know, of Neil Magny in the corner. I haven't heard him in the corner. His cornermen were apparently hyping him up, and I imagine a scene similar to Leon Edwards taking out Kamaru Usman, where Neil Magny was on fire. It was clear when he came out in round 3. He was on fire, and he just bulldozed over D-Rod, and I thought it was an incredible statement and an incredible performance for a guy that does have a receding hairline. Maybe he should fight with a fucking hat on. But he's also approaching 40. And he's also looked a little slower as of late. At least in the Max Griffin fight. Although I did think he performed well there. He's clearly got some doubters. You know, I thought he clearly won the fight. But a lot of people didn't, apparently. And I think Neil Magny really made a statement here against D-Rod. He made a statement and then some. Just getting a beautiful Darce choke with relentless pressure. Taking out a guy that, you know, has a, I think D-Rod, I don't know what his ranking was or whatever, but one of the top fighters in the world, and nobody had beaten him in the UFC aside from Nicholas Dalby, and that was a razor-thin fight. Say what you will about Li Jingliang, but that was a razor-thin fight as well. I thought Li won it. But with Neil Magny, there was no dispute because he put him away, took the judges out of it, and it was amazing to see. Neil doesn't produce too many finishes. He hasn't produced too many finishes. He's gotten some, of course, but against top competition, he typically doesn't put him away. He's more of a grinder. And this was top competition, a very appropriate fight for Neil Magny. Like I said, they were damn close to being even in odds. I think it was minus 120, minus 110. And Neil Magny turned a corner after getting his ass kicked in round 2. It looked like D-Rod just completely took over that fight, landed 1,000 left straights to the body, and was beating Neil up. And those body shots will, you know, stop Neil from getting close and trying to get inside more than punches to the face would, because Neil could evade those a little more easily or whatever. So D-Rod, it looked like his tactics weren't going to fail him, and he clearly had a lot of success in round 2, and it was a bad moment for Neil, but he just said no, used all of his skills, struck his way in, ragdolled D-Rod, or started ragdolling him halfway through the round, and then finished him with a Darce choke. Well, I couldn't think of a better way for Neil to get the record-setting victory as a welterweight. He is still probably underrated, underestimated, overlooked, whatever the fuck. But I know the hardcore fans, probably if you're watching this, you're a hardcore fan. He's got everyone's respect, everyone that has been watching MMA for some time now. Neil's been inside the UFC for years and years, and he's a guy that I totally overlooked. He got knocked out by Mike Ricci. And I still, like, I mean, I don't I don't think he has an iron chin or whatever, but he's definitely got an iron heart or whatever. You know, he doesn't stop fighting, and he is a problem for most of the welterweights on the planet, and that makes, you know, the Shavkat Rakhmonov victory, the recent one, look pretty damn good, because he did separate himself there from guys like D-Rod and Li Jingliang. These are really good welterweights, and Neil is better than them. So Neil Magny, I don't want to say he's a star or a legend. He's probably neither, but he's definitely made his mark, and I'm glad he's gotten some profile, some shine from the UFC. Did I just say shine? What am I, fucking 15? But he's had main event spots and whatever. I don't know if he's got any in his future, but here he was in the co-main event, and he got fight of the night, third round finish, and a record-setting victory. I love it when the veteran, especially the under-the-radar veteran, has a moment like this, and this was fucking fantastic. The Haitian sensation, Neil Magny. I don't know. I usually say sky's the limit. I don't know if his limit's the sky here, but he's definitely got momentum. And fucking, he's one of my favorite fighters, probably my favorite welterweight. So, like, share, subscribe, all that horse shit, and check out my other videos.